had another good ride today. Pretty strong group. Did a couple of fast rides. So yeah, besides my dad getting a flat today, it was pretty good. But let me show you this cool little station here at the park that we stopped. So they have this thing here with a bunch of tools down here, and this is actually the multi-tool I have at home, this park tool. So this is really nice. If you have a mechanical, you can come by here, and they even have a floor pump, dude, with a gauge here, and the thing's like magnet. Whoops, thing goes playing. There you go, and a little bike rack, I guess. So yeah, this thing is freaking awesome. Just got back. I'm gonna eat some leftovers from yesterday. Alright, so I just recorded a Q&A video, and I have no idea what happened, but I think it got deleted, so I'm just doing this one just to be safe. And I am recording on my MacBook, so it's gonna look a bit retro in terms of my video quality, but let's get going. Somebody asks, what work do I do? I'm currently a student pursuing my master's degree in nutrition, and I also do YouTube videos as a living. What model Look pedals do I use? I use the Look Heel Blade 2 pedals. It's the chromoly version, but I do want to get my my new S-Works, the titanium version, just because I'm in the market for new ones, but the chromoly are just as good. I would definitely look around for the best deals because those are expensive pedals, but you can get them at a pretty good price. Am I planning on attending the Thai Food Fest? So since it first started, I've been saying I'm gonna make it, and I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep, but I do want to make it to the Thai Food Fest, and just Thailand in general. I think it's a beautiful place to be. So I guess we're gonna see how the year turns out and how things go, but I do want to make it out there and meet all you guys. What camera do I use? I use my iPhone sometimes, or my MacBook very rarely, but I'll use my DSLR, my Canon T5i, and I think I made a video on that, so I'll have that up here. If you guys are interested in checking that camera out, it's really nice. That's what I use to make my regular videos with. Someone asks, do I work as a dietitian? I do not yet. That's because I haven't gone through all the steps that it takes, so like the 1-year internship and passing the RD exam. So I'm in pursuit of all that. Right now I'm just doing my master's just to have that as well, and let's see, what is the difference between a dietitian and nutritionist? So I made a full video on that as well, and you guys can feel free to check it out. But basically the main difference is a dietitian has gone through all those steps, and it's a bit more standardized, because anybody can get a nutrition degree from anywhere. And if you go to a hospital, you'll see dietitians working there, and not really nutritionists. So I think if you're going into this, I would go for the RD over just a plain old nutritionist, because I think you have more of a foot in the door in most places. And if I work with patients, do I try to persuade them to go vegan or use a certain protocol? Look, I've never worked as a dietitian. I've worked closely with a dietitian. So working at the hospital was interesting, and I couldn't really give diet advice just because I was a nutrition assistant. If people asked me, if people were on certain diets and they couldn't have something, it was all in my records, and I could see that. And if people had questions about that, I could tell them, why they couldn't have it, or what they couldn't have and what they could have. But in terms of saying, you can't have this because it's unhealthy for you, I couldn't really say that. And some of the food they served there was, not the best for people's health. I'm just gonna say that. So what I did was I just offered people the healthiest options. For example, we would have spaghetti and marinara sauce most of the days, peanut butter and jelly, fruits, vegetables. I tried to offer as many of the healthy options that I could. If people didn't want it, they wanted something else, and they could have it, that was on them. And I didn't have much power as a nutrition assistant, but hopefully things will change when I become an RD, and that's why I went into this, because I want to have that power to use the knowledge that I have. You know, if I was just stuck with as a nutrition assistant my whole life, I wouldn't be able to have that power to actually use that knowledge. It'd be worthless. Yeah, I know somebody else asks if I recommend to go to school to become a dietitian. You know, that's entirely up to you. It depends on what you want to do with your life. But I wanted to have the absolute power to help people with this knowledge. What's my Strava? You can probably search, I think, Bananiac or Tino Bananiac or something. But all the links to my social media is down below in the description section, so you guys can just click it and it'll take you there. That's probably an easier way to do it, I guess. What do I think about soy isolated protein? You know, it's not a health food, and I guess it depends on how much you take, right? It's all about dosage, but thing is, it's not a whole food. It's not the healthiest package of nutrients that your body can get. So it's entirely up to you. You know, I don't want to tell people what they can and they can't eat. It's totally up to you. But I certainly wouldn't recommend it, and I you know, try to focus on eating healthy, whole plant-based foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes. But again, it totally depends on how much you are using. What music was playing in the background when I was petting my pets? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I think my mom was playing some Greek radio, so probably some Greek song, but I have no idea what it was. So yeah, I think those were all the questions. I'm going to try to save it this time so I don't have to do this all again. But yeah, if you guys have more questions, you want to see more Q&A videos, post your questions down below or send them to me on any of my social media platforms. And if I don't get to your question, please don't be offended or think that I'm ignoring you or anything like that. I get so many questions throughout the days. So just keep them coming, and I'll try to answer them and get to all of them as best as I can. So I'm going to put this little guy down because I think he's getting a little irritated, and then probably get some food in me. About to have dinner with some mashed potatoes, some veggies, and veggie burgers.